Now that we've introduced the subject of philosophy in our previous lecture, we can turn to an exploration of its branches. In this lecture, we take a look at logic, which has served as a kind of toolbox for philosophers in their pursuit of the truth. In this first module, we'll introduce the foundations of logic and critical thinking. One of those categories we talked about was logic. Okay? And technically, FYI, when I say logic here, I really mean something more general like critical thinking. If you were to take Philosophy 103, one of the things we would do fairly early on in this semester is distinguish actually logic from critical thinking. Critical thinking is kind of what I really mean here, right? Concern for the truth. What is the truth, right? We talked about what philosophy was. It is after the truth. So if we want the truth, we kind of need some means to get there. And so as I've been suggesting, as I suggested in the first lecture, right, logic, or more broadly, critical thinking, is the means by which we try to get to the truth then. So I always suggest then, no matter what area of philosophy you're studying, and in here we're going to study lots of different areas, right, but it would always be in your interest then to be familiar with logic, or more generally, critical thinking. Because we're concerned with the truth. How do we figure that out? Right, presumably logic and critical thinking. Right? Logic specifically, as we'll see here very early on, is dealing with arguments, and for better or worse, that's the basic currency of philosophy. Right? Most of these dudes and dudettes in this textbook that are going to give us various spiels on these various issues are going to present us arguments for their position, right? Why their particular take on whatever issue we're talking about is the one we ought to subscribe to as well. Okay, and they're going to give us arguments for that. So we want to be in a position to sort of be able to assess that, right? Are they actually even giving us an argument in the first place, and then say whether it's any good? So that's kind of our prerogative here, and why we take some time to, again, even though this isn't a logic class per se, right? A little bit of time here in lecture 2 early on to kind of delineate what logic is and more broadly critical thinking. So there's a little bit of justification for the time we're going to spend here, okay? So we're going to try to keep things very simple, right? Simplify things as much as possible. Again, this isn't going to be very nuanced. I do encourage you, I think Philosophy 103, which is this basically throughout the semester, I do encourage you to take that class. In my humble opinion, that's one of the best classes you can take, because critical thinking, logic, right? That's something that you can apply not just to the big philosophical questions, but to all walks of life. But in here, we're just going to, right, keep it simple. But I do encourage you, again, to consider that more in-depth Philosophy 103 if this is something of interest. Okay, so what is logic itself? I mentioned critical thinking is really the more umbrella term. Critical thinking is just concerned with what the truth is in general, right? And all aspects of, you might say, good, proper thinking. Logic technically is interested or concerned with arguments, okay? What they are, right? The different types. We're going to see there's 2 basic types here in a little bit. And then even more importantly, right, it's one thing to know what an argument is and what kind it is, whatever this spiel is in front of you. It's one thing to know that it's an argument, and let's say that it's deductive. It's another thing to, and what we're really concerned with, right, is to figure out whether it's any good. Okay, so logic's concerned with both of those. You know, what is an argument? How do we figure out what type or kind of argument it is, provided there is one there? And then how do we figure out if it's any good? Okay, so logic, you know, if you're going to try to like summarize it, it's all about arguments. Okay, and specifically, so there's a lot of parallels between like logic and critical thinking and math. In fact, Philosophy 103, like day 1, I mentioned how it has a very mathy feel, and sometimes like when you break down formally arguments, they even look like a math problem, right? So logicians will oftentimes are in 103, right? If we're trying to spell out what the exact premises are and what the conclusion is, we might put it just like this, so it looks like a math problem. But logic, even more technically or more precisely, is actually concerned not just with arguments, but specifically with how well the reasons given for the position on the issue or the conclusion actually support or prove the conclusion. And we'll get more into that. But again, just trying to give you a general idea of what logic is itself. Okay, so if you're only going to take one thing away, just associate logic with arguments. Okay, that is definitely kind of the main connection you want to make here. So I always suggest it's helpful, at least in my mind, to think of logic or critical thinking more broadly, right, as consisting of 2 major steps okay? And then each one of those consisting of 2 sub-steps, if you will. And you'll notice that up here on our roadmap. So step 1 is like identification, or what I've called identification, and step 2 is assessment, okay? So the first, and we're going to go through in each of these. So by the end of this lecture, right, you're going to be in a position to kind of speak to all 4 of these things, right? You're going to be able to say what an argument is and whether whatever you have in front of you is an argument. And they come in all shapes and sizes, right? Written arguments, we're going to have all kinds of written arguments in the textbook throughout the course, right? We can have hear an argument verbally. We can be going through an argument in our own heads, right? We don't even need 2 people or a feud to have an argument. We can be presenting arguments to ourselves for why to get a PS5 or an Xbox One. Okay, so there doesn't need to be 2 people involved. You can have an argument in 1 sentence. You can have an argument. You could construe, for example, John Stuart Mill, the example I often give is his book called Utilitarianism. You could construe that entire book in some sense as one long argument for the conclusion that utilitarianism is the proper moral view. Okay, so they come in all shapes and sizes. Again, think of logic as being these 2 major steps. So the first step is, well, given there's all these shapes and sizes, is there actually an argument present before me? Okay, so we'll go through and say how we figure that out, right? You're going to be in a position then to be able to tell whether there's actually an argument or not, okay? And then assuming there is an argument, once we're able to figure that out, what kind? Okay, so you guys will be able to say that as well. You'll know the difference, what kind. There's 2 major kinds, right? So we're going to get into that. You'll be able to tell not only that there's an argument here, but that it's, say, deductive, okay? And then we'll also talk about, provided we figured out it's an argument and it's deductive, well, how good is it? Okay, so there's 2, regardless if you've identified the argument as deductive or inductive, regardless of what type, there's always 2 kind of facets of the argument that you want to analyze in terms of assessment. Okay, so the reasoning part, and I'll explain why I call it the reasoning part here in a moment, and then the truth part. Okay, and so why these are labeled as such will hopefully be clear when we get to those later. Okay, but at the end of the lecture, again, you're going to be able to kind of speak to all 4 of these things. Okay, that's the overarching goal here. So hopefully this slide 2 here makes some sense then, right? These are the 2 basic major steps. Identification, is there an argument here and what kind is it? And then if there is an argument present, okay, how good is it? And so there's 2 aspects of that as well. Now that we have a basic understanding of what logic is, we can turn to a closer examination of how logical reasoning works in practice. In the next module, we'll take a look at arguments and the premises and conclusions that comprise them.